Hey everyone, I hope you're well. This is CoinsKid. Just gone on to Bitcoin. Bigger the CoinsKid crew. So Bitcoin's really taking off, isn't it? It's doing really, really well. Now I do anticipate that if we get a rejection at the high, we need to see a consolidation pattern and then a break of the key resistance. I'm going to go through this with you. So yesterday I did relay to you that the market on the micro is very overheated and it's not necessarily a place to go long. There was a liquidation grab, wasn't there? Some kind of stop hunt that came up, that came down, sorry. And I think a lot of people that were long with the stops below got stopped out yesterday on that liquidation grab. So this is the volatility of the market, basically. It's why I try and find the opportunities when we're in the floor on the micro and, you know, really depressed and everyone's saying no way, and things like that. This is where you should be thinking about going long, not where we are right now, because the risk is increased, okay? So we'll take a look at that. But I do anticipate that Bitcoin will break the high. Obviously, I've got no guarantees, but it's the perfect setup. I've been looking at this for a very long time. There are a couple of concerning things in the charts I'm going to relay to you today, but I'm just going to go through a setup that I think is absolutely perfect here in the charts and we're looking at, okay, for Bitcoin. Let's dive into the Bitcoin chart right now. So look at Bitcoin on the weekly time frame. At the moment, this is the red line, okay? Look at that red line. We take that out and hold that support, then, you know, it negates this alternative count. But I've got to show you this alternative count. Not because I'm a pun bear, whatever. It's because it's simple technical analysis and data that I relay to you in the charts every single day, okay? So this is an absolute possibility right now. So I'm always trying to find confluence to scenarios that I look at for Bitcoin, you know, and Ethereum and things like that. So I think this is probably a little bit of hopium, to be honest with you. But, you know, if it happens, fantastic. I will absolutely buy this ABC zigzag correction, this blood, this despair, this fear right now. There is a potential wave count here as well. I'll go through this with you, that this could actually play out. So from the bottom here, what we may have is a macro wave 1 into this resistance, okay, and then a macro wave 2, and then boom, your macro wave 3, which comes up like this, okay, further down the line. And then this would just sort of carry on with the, you know, the normal cycle theory that from this bottom here to the top, that top just there for Bitcoin, that's the top that everyone's looking at right now. Then in theory, we should go 151 bars from the bottom to the top. So if we say, okay, we're just in a 4-year cycle for Bitcoin where, you know, you're top and your bottom basically. From there, 151 days, that should bring us out to roughly when is that? So that's sort of end of 2025, which is the anticipation of everybody right now, that we are just in that cycle. So I think that would actually be true if we see rejection this high, because it makes sense to me in the wave count, in the sense we would have some kind of impulsive wave 1, corrective wave 2. Everyone's, oh, bearish, oh, Bitcoin's going to zero, bear market, and then boom, explode 3, 4, 5, so on and so forth. That would be my projection if we reject at this point, because what that would create for me on this particular chart is an inverse head and shoulders pattern at key resistance, come back like this, and then boom, we bolt basically in a wave 3. And then equally we've got a basically an ascending triangle, and I've traded many of these over the years where we break on the 3rd point resistance. So, you know, if that happens, fantastic, we'll entertain that, you know, but I know a lot of people will get really, really bearish at that point. But I think, you know, it would tie up with the normal cycle theory that, you know, from top to bottom it roughly takes around about that many days, doesn't it? What is it, 151 weeks basically. So from the bottom to the top, 2025, that's your bull market top for Bitcoin, okay? It would actually tie in as well with the fact that we are seeing 5 waves up on a lot of these altcoins. For example, we've got, you know, confluence in other charts that what we do have for the likes of Cardano and Chainlink and VeChain is a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, a 5. We do see 5 macro waves up right now. So with that, we do increase the probability of an ABC drawdown to backtest support before continuation. So that particular scenario would actually play out if we did start to see Bitcoin correct here. We could see, and if I drop the VeChain chart in, for example, we could say, okay, from this bottom just there, where VeChain bottom, we've had a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, and a 5. So we've got a 5-wave macro move up. At this point, if Bitcoin does start to correct like this and has an ABC zigzag, this is where VeChain will come back test this leg of support before continuation. So it's possible, it's absolutely possible. But equally, you know, this setup here right now, we've had the 1, 2, and we're just absolutely exploding for VeChain like this, is absolutely possible as well. So until we start to see Bitcoin reject at this level of resistance and start to drop below this thick yellow line, which is a 20-week EMA, my primary count right now is the fact that Bitcoin's about to go vertical because of the setup. I'm looking at charts, and then, you know, altcoins are going to go vertical as well. You know, we're breaking out on the altcoins, and we're not necessarily having a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 before an ABC. We're just absolutely taking off right there for them particular altcoins. But there is a little bit of confluence in there, 5 waves up, so it always makes me a little bit cautious basically. So if you're not already in like VeChain or Cardano or those coins that have put 5 waves up, the risk is increased to a pullback in those particular projects, okay? okay? So I know you're feeling a bit of FOMO, but this is why, you know, for many moons and many weeks, and even all last year, I did say to you, there's some beautiful bottoming patterns here. These are your entry points, and I was posting them like crazy. So we're at the point right now where the maximum risk has increased in this particular market, and FOMO is kicking in. Now, if we do get this big ABC zigzag, I know a lot of people will get really bearish again, but it will actually make me even more bullish going forward, because it would indicate to me that from this bottom here, we've got a macro wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4, wave 5, and we are just simply in a standard cycle, and that was just your top basically. But you know, the thing I've been looking at for a very long time to confluence for my analysis that is your top is, you know, not just a Bitcoin chart, it's many other charts, and you know, it's XRP, it's VeChain, it's within itself. You know, we all looked at this particular level here being the top for Bitcoin, but you know, we had clues in the altcoins charts that they topped in April of 2021, came down for the A, came up for the B, which was a lower high when Bitcoin made its bull trap, and then boom, they've had the C wave. So right now, you know, if I'm correct and it's just been an ABC zigzag of a larger cycle in those particular projects and for Bitcoin, then this is a vertical in the charts basically, and we won't get any of this basically. And this is the count, you know, the 1, the 2, the 3, the 4, the 5, and that's it. Blow off top, see you later. And we've not got this prolonged, you know, sort of cycle bull market right here for Bitcoin, but it is certainly a possible alternative, and this is why I've got my eyes on it. But do I think it will play out? At the minute, I don't. I think Bitcoin's about to go bullish, so I'm going to show you something on a daily time frame that we've been looking at for a very long time, the perfect setup that all we have to see is this, okay? And I'm going to go through this with you right now on a daily. Let's jump in. So looking at Bitcoin on the daily time frame, what we're looking for, you know, to get bearish on Bitcoin right now is a toppy pattern, just like we got in November. We got the double top drop, okay, and I think we traded that at the time. We went short, put a stop loss at that point, and we traded it all the way down. I was looking to come back up and looking at this being some kind of ABC, but then it absolutely capitulated, didn't it? It dropped like an absolute stone, lost a 20 and started to come back down, you know, and this is where we flipped from bull to bear basically, and I began to project to the downside because of the loss of structure and the loss of the EMAs. So at that point, what we did do, and if you take a look at this, we do have a double top drop in November of 2021 right there. So a descending triangle basically, double top drop, see you later. Now remember, this is a daily time frame, okay? So at this point, I remember relaying to you all the way down, we've got God candle back test here, and this is something we trade on the channel. We call it a God candle back test. Whenever you're coming up like this, you create a resistance point, you break out, you do tend to come back to where you broke out for support before continuation, okay? So, you know, with Bitcoin, if you take a look at that God candle breakout here, you got a W double bottom pattern, an ascending triangle, God candle. So that was a clue coming all the way up. So what I was looking for was that back test anyway, and it was just started to come up and lost a 20, turn into resistance, boom, you know, we're coming down. We've got to flip from projecting to the upside to the downside, and that's exactly what I did. So, you know, I've been trying to find the support ever since, but on the way down, I said to you, I think we've got clues in this chart that we will come up eventually, and they're really simple. The God candle back test, support, 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 no retest, support, 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 no retest, you know. So this is what we're looking at the whole way down here. I said to you, I'm a buyer, not a crier, because, you know, we've got clues that we will come up in time. So we have come up, we have back tested them right now. So again, you know, what we need to do, if we are going to roll, we need to look below where there's God candle back test. So I'll relay them messages to you right now that in the charts right now, if we do roll for Bitcoin and we fail to take out this moving out average, which is basically a 350-day moving average right there, if we fail to take that out at this crossroads of the all-time high, then, you know, it's increased probability of a roll basically. So where we will roll to, really, really simple. Firstly, I think you'll find support just there, and then secondly, I think you'll find a little bit of support just here, and then thirdly, I think you'll find some support just here for Bitcoin, okay, just there. And equally, the macro move, the big correction, the ABC that potentially comes, will be roughly this area here. Why? Because you've come up in an ascending triangle like this, okay? You've got an ascending triangle, look at that beautiful boom 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 W bottom pattern, ascending triangle, whatever you want to call it. You broke on a third point resistance as anticipated, and then boom, you've not back tested at support. So that's on the radar, that's on the radar, that's on the radar, and that's on the radar. And they're areas where I would expect, if we did roll, they are key areas where I would expect Bitcoin to bounce basically on the way down in its correction. So you'll be looking at a major correction around about 30,905. Then you will be looking at that major correction as well, 37844, and then equally you'll be looking at that as well, 47418. And then because we've just broken out at this level of resistance without backtesting it, that would be my primary bounce if we was to have a major crash, okay? So it's all about support and resistance. You're fully aware of that, and this is, you know, what I do on the channel. I teach about support and resistance, go long, go short, whatever. So what we're looking for to increase the probability of these targets being met is some kind of double top drop pattern at this point and then a roll basically and start to come back down, you know, and we're not doing what we've done before, which is what I've been looking at for a very long time, that if we are doing what we've done before, then Bitcoin should not be about to do any of these back tests anytime soon, and it should be about to go vertical, and it should be about to take out this green line and the grey line. But if we do reject, have these targets on your radar for the buybacks and the bounces. Really, really simple, okay? So if we move to the left, what I think we're doing for Bitcoin is very similar to this particular scenario here, where we broke out, got back above the golden line of the pi cycle top indicator, then we bolted into the green line, which was a previous all-time high just there. And I did make a video about this quite recently for you, just there, the pi cycle top, which is sort of confluence of that green line and the previous all-time high, consolidating a range, created an ascending triangle at that point, and then bolted. And I remember all this time really, really well for the, you know, crypto markets, my family and friends. I wasn't making videos at that point. It's only when we started to come up like this and creating the rising wedge that I did begin to make videos for the CoinsKid crew. Okay, so at this point, if we take a look at this is the exact same scenario. So we've come up like this, we've back tested this golden line just there, and right now we're bolting into the green line, which is pretty much the crossroads of the previous pi cycle top and the all-time high there for Bitcoin. So we've kind of rinse repeat doing what we've done before. So if in theory we come up, get rejected, create some kind of consolidation pattern at the high, an ascending triangle, and take it out, yeah, see you later. We're on the 1.272 at $103,000, and we've got a blow off top, okay, for Bitcoin. So I wish everyone the most luck, but always have an alternative. And I think, you know, if we start to see some kind of double top pattern or whatever, it would increase the probability of this, the big macro ABC zigzag correction or whatever, to come back, and my absolute rock solid level of support and my target will be that, okay? And I know a lot of people will be calling for 10, 20k and things like that again, but that will most definitely be a load up zone for me. And the reason is really simple: you broke out, got candle back test in the charts just there. So whether or not, you know, that's the bear market projection if we do go vertical here, but that will always be on my radar. You know, for example, if we do start to go vertical like this is the other alternative. We're going vertical, we take off, yeah, going to the moon, and we get all the way up there to my 200k target, and then we start to come back down in the bear. I think that would be a nice little sweet spot going forward, okay, for the CoinsKid crew. So you understand that update. Nothing to say is financial advice. Everything is for educational and entertainment purpose only. But we are literally at a very, very, you know, strong crossroads right now. There is something else I wanted to show you whilst I've got your attention right now in the Bitcoin chart. It's to do with the moon phases and a crossroads that I see just there, okay. So if we take a look, this is an indicator. It's a free indicator. It's called moon phases. You can get into your charts by typing moon phases like this. Type it in, drop it in, and then I go to the settings and I change it to waxing moon is red and waning moon is green, basically. So I call it pump moon, dump moon. Really simple. You can clearly see, and I did post this in the Discord for the CoinsKid crew. I think it was at the weekend. We've got a pump moon. So look at that. Absolutely pumped. Previous pump moon pumped. Previous pump moon pumped. Previous pump moon pumped. That pump moon pumped as well. So these pump moons have been doing really, really well. So how have the dump moons been doing? So if we take a look, dump moon went sideways, dump moon went sideways, dump moon. Now that was a good dump moon, wasn't it? This dump moon didn't do nothing really, just went sideways. So we do have a dump moon coming up. So, you know, we can try and guess. I think it's round about the 9th of March that we will come up into this dump moon, basically. So at the minute we're reacting positively off a pump moon, basically. So if we get some kind of price action like that into that level there and we form a dump moon, that could be a very strong indication of this is where we begin to create some kind of ascending triangle, or the bearish scenario is a double top drop scenario. So there's something going to go on at that point, and obviously I could be completely wrong. We could just absolutely keep going right now, but there is a crossroads on the 9th of March, because if you take a look, we've got this green line. The green moving average should be up there by that date as well, and that's the, you know, the moving average and this all-time high is the time in which we're looking to break out, which confirms, you know, the big massive blow off top face right here for Bitcoin. Okay, so I'll leave that with you, but I think the dump moon, if we go from there, the pump moon, sorry, lasts for around about, what is that, roughly 14 days. So we could say from this point right now, you know, you pump moon, yeah, roughly about there, the 9th of March, we could be looking at crossroads right there. You know, just using the pump moon theory, dump moon theory, that at that point we should begin to see some kind of rejection at the high, and some kind of, you know, if we're bullish, we will see an ascending triangle consolidation pattern, but if we're bearish, we will see a double top drops. Come down like that, make a lower high, and then we drop. So something is gearing up in the charts right now. But I think in this moment here, whilst we're doing something like this and crabbing up to that point, retest of the all-time high, we will see some beautiful altcoin opportunities. So I'll leave that with you. I understand the update, and going forward, I think a really bearish statement at this point is just in time, whenever, breaking down below that thick yellow line. That's your bull market support for me, okay? Lose that, yeah, you've got a macro correction. Hope you understand the update. Stay healthy, stay strong, stay tuned. Thank you for support. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.